Raw foods of animal origin, including meat, fish, eggs, and milk, but also fruits and vegetables that have been in contact with the ground, can accidentally become contaminated with pathogenic microorganisms harbored in animal intestines or found in the surrounding environment, which pose a risk to human health. Cooking is one of the most important measures for preventing health risks because it helps eliminate or lower the presence of these microorganisms. The level of safety achieved depends on how the cooking is carried out. To be effective, the heat must reach specific temperatures throughout the product for a set amount of time. For example, destroying microorganisms such as Salmonella, Listeria, Campylobacter, or Escherichia coli takes 15-20 seconds at 75-80 degrees Celsius. If instead the temperature is lowered to 65 degrees, the time of destruction must be extended to 25-30 minutes. Spore-forming microorganisms, that is, microorganisms able to protect themselves within a kind of armor, making them particularly resistant to heat, such as Clostridia and Bacillus cereus, require higher temperatures. This is the case, for example, in food canning, which involves heating to no less than 120 degrees for 3 minutes. While there is a risk of pathogenic organisms surviving if food is undercooked, overcooking can instead cause burning and the formation of harmful chemical substances. It is not good practice to cook at very high temperature for a short time, since this can cause food to become charred on the outside while remaining raw on the inside. It is therefore vital to closely monitor the cooking process, making sure the temperature is high enough to render the product completely safe. This means heating to at least 75 degrees Celsius throughout the product. This applies particularly to foods consisting of large pieces or the ones that can harbor microorganisms internally, such as minced meat, meatloaf, or roast meats. Hamburgers should be fully cooked inside as well as outside, taking care to turn them frequently to avoid charring on the outside. Microorganisms can survive particularly well in foods with short cooking times, such as pasta alla carbonara or roast beef. In these cases, the raw materials must be fresh and of premium quality. The cold chain must be correctly maintained from storage to consumption, and the work surfaces and utensils used in their preparation must be clean and sanitized. These precautions are even more essential in the case of foods that do not involve any cooking at all, such as tartare, carpaccio, oysters, sushi, or cheeses or butter made from unpasteurized milk. It is good practice to state in the menu that raw or lightly cooked foods should not be consumed by persons in risk categories, such as pregnant women, children, the elderly, and immunocompromised persons. Some microbes may survive even after cooking, or foods can become recontaminated through contact with non-sanitized hands, utensils, or surfaces. Accordingly, when preparing cooked dishes several hours before being served to customers, foods must be kept at temperatures above 65 degrees Celsius until the time of serving, which must be within a few hours. Alternatively, the food must be cooled down to below 7 degrees within 2 hours and then kept at refrigeration temperatures and thoroughly reheated before consumption. Ideally, to eliminate any microbial load that may have developed, foods must be reheated to an internal temperature of 75 degrees. Kitchen thermometers are useful for checking if a food is sufficiently cooked or heated and should always be sanitized after use. Relying solely on changes in color does not provide reliable information on the complete inactivation of any pathogenic microorganisms that may be present. On the subject of frying, careful attention must be paid to the smoke point of the oil being used, or rather the temperature at which the oil, once heated, starts visibly smoking and deteriorating, forming toxic substances such as acrolein. The smoke point varies according to oil type. Preference should be given to oils suited for frying, such as olive oil, which has a relatively high smoke point and is stable at high temperatures, Alternatively, peanut oil can be used, whereas mixed sealed oils, margarine, and butter should all be avoided. Attention must be paid to freshness. Oils that have been heated and used several times can lead to the development of harmful chemical substances. Accordingly, excessive reuse should be avoided. Spent oils are distinguishable by their darker color, greater viscosity, and the generation of foam on reheating. Also, topping up used oil with fresh oil should be avoided, as fresh oil deteriorates more quickly when coming into contact with used oil.